The Los Angeles Chargers lost what was perhaps the best game of NFL Week 1. The Tennessee Titans lost what was perhaps the worst game of NFL Week 1. But unlike the Chargers, the Titans can at least say they covered the spread, and that's what we care about here. Which of these two AFC playoff hopefuls covers in Week 2? I'll have the answer for you in a couple of minutes. Now, let's start first in LA, where the Chargers ran for 200-plus yards last week for just the third time in the Justin Herbert era. They still lost, though, 36-34 as a short home favorite, thanks to a career day from Miami's Tua Tagovailoa, not to mention Tyreek Hill as well. Curiously, Herbert only attempted 33 passes in Week 1. That sounds like a lot, but consider this. In last season's win over Miami, Herbert had a career-high 39 completions. There were plenty of costly errors for the Chargers against the Dolphins this time around, namely an ill-timed pass interference right before the half, which led to a Dolphins field goal, and J.C. Jackson, the same guy who got flagged for PI, runs out of the end zone after an INT that leads to another Dolphins field goal on the next drive. Incredibly, the Chargers became just the second team in NFL history to run for 200-plus yards, score 34 or more points, have 0 turnovers, and still lose at home. Previously, home teams that had done all three of those things were 165-1 straight up in the history of this league. Incredible stat right there. Now on to Tennessee, who I had +3 in Week 1. That was a win, thankfully. It was close, had to hold on, but they got it done. But the Titans were lucky to cover the spread. I'm going to be very honest with you. They did not score a single touchdown, and quarterback Ryan Tannehill was woeful. 16-34 passing, 3 interceptions. But 5 field goals was enough to cover in what ended up being a 16-15 loss to the Saints. Note, Mike Vrabel elected to kick a field goal down 16-12 late in the fourth quarter. That was great for the cover, but the Titans could not get a defensive stop on the subsequent drive. The Saints ran out the clock. Going back to last season, the Titans have now lost 8 consecutive games. That's not good. Looking at the WagerTalk.com odds screen, the Chargers are currently listed as 3-point road favorites for this Week 2 matchup with the Titans. There's still some 3.5s out there as well. The total sits at 45.5 as of Tuesday afternoon. Chargers defense gave up a frightening 8.2 yards per play to the Dolphins. That's a concern normally, but they're facing a much weaker offense here. Of course, they're also facing a much better defense than what they saw in Week 1. As an underdog of 3 points or more under Vrabel, here's a great trend for you. The Titans are now 23-9 ATS. Vrabel, going into last week, had a winning straight-up record as a dog as the head coach of Tennessee. So he's excels when getting points. Tennessee's defense, they excel at stopping the run. They're going to make you look to throw, so I anticipate we're going to see more pass attempts from Herbert in Week 2. As for Tannehill, last week marked the 8th regular season game in which he threw 3 or more interceptions. Also, the Titans' offensive line, considered a major weakness coming into the season, was as bad as advertised. Meanwhile, the Chargers' defense, dead last stopping the run last season, they allowed just 70 yards to the Dolphins rushing and 3.5 yards per carry. That qualifies as a significant improvement. LA has won 8 of the last 10 meetings with Tennessee and is 6-1-3 ATS. Yes, there have been 3 pushes in there, including just last season when the Chargers won 20-17 as 3-point home favorites. Like I said earlier, though, this time the Chargers are 3-point road favorites, and I think that's too much. I would definitely look to grab the 3.5 with Tennessee. I would hurry and do that because those probably aren't going to last too much longer. So shop around. Always important to have multiple sportsbook accounts, but plus 3.5 with Tennessee is the way to go. If you have to take the 3, I would do that as well. Obviously, Mike Vrabel has excelled as an underdog. Would not play this one if Tennessee dips below 3 in the market. Need the field goal with the Titans for me to get involved right now. Who do you think covers the spread this one? Let me know in the comments section. And as always, if you're enjoying the content here, do us a favor. Hit that like button. If you want to be alerted with any of our betting content, go ahead and subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel as we release betting picks and predictions for every sport you could think of each and every single day. Now, if you're interested in more game trends, breakdowns, picks, go ahead, check out this next game video.